And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
In my quest to continue talk about my favorite older games, as well as the new games, I want to take a look today at Ave Caesar, which comes in a box which is entirely too big. They've reprinted this a couple times. They've done it at least once in a future sci-fi setting, which is kind of a bummer because I think the Ave Caesar setting works. This is one of my, if not my favorite racing game. It is very light, very easy. It's just a tremendously fun time to play. It can go up to 6 players, plays quickly. Let me show you. Here's the board for Ave Caesar. There's actually a double-sided board. It's not that critical, but the other board should be used for 3 to 4 players. This board works better with 5 to 6 players. There's actually 4 racetracks per board. You can see the yellow and the red outline. So here's one track. Going the other way is the other track, and then the red track. So you can go clockwise or counterclockwise. It does not really matter that much. Each person has a chariot, and you'll draw cards to see who goes first. And apparently I can't make some of these horses face the correct direction, but there you go. Then each player is also going to have 2 other pieces of things. They're going to have a coin, which is here more for symbolic thing than anything else. And then you'll have a deck of cards. These cards are numbered from 1 to 6, and everyone has the exact same deck. And you're going to draw 3 cards from that deck, and then one player goes first. The person in the first position goes. And then after that, it goes around the table clockwise. On your turn, you play a card, and you move that many spaces. You must play a card if possible, and you must move that many spaces. Now, when you move, you can move forward, or you can move diagonally forward, which is not a big deal, except you can't move through other people. So let's say the yellow player has landed here, and the blue player's here, and it's red's turn. Red cannot go anywhere. They can't go in this spot or this spot, so they can't play any card. If the cards were here, and red had a 1, then red could move. But if red had only a 2 or higher, again, red could not move. So you can see there are some spots, notably this space here, where you can block someone, or you can be on the inside of a lane, forcing everybody else to go around you on the outside. And there will be many turns where you will mutter something under your breath because you don't have a card that you can play at that point in time. So you play a card, draw a card, play a card, draw a card. You're going to be making 3 laps around the board, so another thing you need to keep an eye on is you can't always go on the outside, because if you always go on the outside lane, you will run out of cards before you finish the race, in which case you die. Between the first and second lap, or the second and third lap, you need to come around here, through this lane here, where Caesar is. And at that point in time, you are required, absolutely, it's I think a United States law, maybe world law, I'm not sure. You must stand up and shout Ave Caesar at the top of your lungs and throw the coin in the box. All right? Throw the coin to Caesar. If you don't, Caesar kills you. So you must come through this spot either on the first time through or the second time through, and there'll be some debate on which one's better. Now, you could just say Ave Caesar and put the coin in the box, but I believe that you should stand on your chair and scream it at the top of your lungs. Anyhow, the racers just keep going around. It's a very simple game. I basically just told you everything. The differences that you'll find are, as you go through, you're trying to play cards so that not only you help yourself, but in this game, you will very specifically and very often deliberately move to a spot so that you hurt other people. If I'm here, for example, and these racers are behind me, sure, I might have a 5 in my hand where I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and get around, but I think the 1 is more fun to play because now everyone behind me is going to get jammed up and can't move. You can't play a 6 if you're in first place. Other than that, and there's a few other rules, and then there's about 30 different variants that you can play with the game, but that's how you play. First person to the finish line, and make sure you're throwing your coin to Caesar, is the winner. I've had so many good experiences playing Ave Caesar. At conventions where we stood up in chairs and shouted Ave Caesar as we threw our coins, and just the groans. It's certainly not a game where you play there and say, I'm going to work on my stuff, you guys work on yours. No, because really in this game you're just getting smacked around all the time because people are blocking your path this ways. And it is possible that you will start off and not be in first place, and not be in first place for a good chunk of the race, but everybody can win. Hopefully, if you play your cards right at the right time. There's no special cards, there's nothing. It's just that deck of cards you have, You play it and try to outrace everybody else. I like it best with a full complement of players because there's so much blocking going on. There's chariots, you're trying to angle your way to get around somebody, getting those cards, the different variants. I've tried some of them, but the base game as it is a lot of fun. I'm sure I'll get under the comments, people say, oh, you must always play this way or always play that way. And that's fine, but I love the game for its simplicity, and yet it just works so well. There's no rolling dice, which I like, but there's no dice, and so wow, it's just a deck of cards, and you play those and move them. The pieces are good quality, the board looks good, and the theme really comes strongly through. A 3-lap race in Formula D, which is a game I like, would take a very long time, while a 3-lap race here, we're talking 30 to 40 minutes. This is a game that's a filler, I suppose, a game that you play when you're waiting to do other things, but a game that really keeps you involved the whole time. Fast, furious, and light. This is almost like a gateway racing game. It's just a really mean one at points. I don't mind that meanness. In fact, I revel in it, but you have to realize what you're getting into. If you can find this at a thrift store, on eBay, or whatever, certainly give yourselves a treat by picking it up and buying it. Ave Caesar, a great, great racing game.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at DicetowerNetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door!